Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the Muddy Creek Podcast. Tonight, me and Don has a special guest, Bill Rigby. Before we get into him, I do want to acknowledge everybody in chat. If I say your name twice, it's because I'm going down and I'm reading. You guys are awesome. Thank you for jumping in and supporting the podcast. We love you. We have the best mods ever, and we all know Gary Spikes has been everywhere, and he's just a legend in the Bigfoot world. If you click on, you're going to see Gary out there, and Bill's nodding his head. Yep, you're a legend to us, Gary. So say hey to Gary. We got Denise. Hey, Denise, thank you for jumping in. We got Sharon, and Sharon's been a long time supporter of us. Thank you, and Sharon, I hope you're doing good, and I hope you're feeling good. We've got Leonard in the chat. Good evening, Leonard. Jeff, O-Line Cryptids, how you doing, buddy? We call him the bearded egg. Feel free to do that. Kimmy F and Sunshine, love her so much. Thank you, Kimmy. We have, let's see who else we have here. Chad. You guys check out Chad at, I'm going to get it wrong, Chad. Put it in the, if I get it wrong, correct me. The Odd Podcast. Nope. You know what? I got to get this straight. That's my buddy right there. I'm so embarrassed now. But I love you, Chad. It's the Odd Podcast. Correct me, okay? Correct me. I'll get it right. I promise I'll stop the show and get it right. But I love you, buddy, okay? We also have William's always here like a champ. He puts up with me. I love you so much. We got Curtis in the chat. Thank you, Curtis. We got Dog. You guys got to go check out Dog's show. And we got Sandra. Welcome, Sandra. Good to have you here. Of course, Patrick. Patrick, love you, buddy. Patrick, he's seen some stuff and he's done some stuff. Let's see who else. We got PJ. You guys go check her out, PJ Arkansas. She's got a great channel. She's got activity on her property. A Little Twisted. Little Twisted is a good supporter of the show. We really love you, and I'm glad you're here. And if I've missed anyone out there, David, how you doing, buddy? We got Lavon here. Hey, Lavon, I'm pretty sure she's here for you, Bill. We got Phyllis, and I think I've covered everybody. If I have not, please, Gary, can you put Chad's Kevin? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for being here. Gary,
yeah, he put it up. The Oddcast podcast off the record.
That's go check them out. I am so sorry. I give you my word. I will never slaughter that again. Okay, we got Renee. Hey, Renee, good to see you. John Futway, love you, buddy. I need to get up with you because we are going to start doing some research on the Cape Fear River, and we need your intel on that because he is the master of the Cape Fear River. Let's see. Did I get everybody? Have I missed anyone? Because I try not to miss people, and you guys are important to us, and we just love you bunches. So, Bill, we know that I slaughtered the introductions, but you've got a lot, about 10 years experience. Let's put it out there and take it from there, because we are not scripted. That's just how we roll.
I got I did a lot of armchair researching when I first started realizing, because I was a hunter too, which I haven't done in a couple of years, but tree structures. I was seeing them in West Virginia hunting there, Ohio, PA, New York. And I'm like, now something ain't right here. So, what is making these things? Of course, some of them natural, but so that's what got me into it. And start checking it out. Then start doing researching on YouTube. Back then, and we had a lot of showmen, let's put it that way, out there that didn't really have any Bigfoot experience or ever had them on their property and they didn't and stuff like that. So I was getting kind of disgusted. So then I turned around and started researching it on Facebook. I came in with a bunch of different groups and I started checking them out, started watching what they were putting up. And I got involved with a couple of the groups and started going out with them and investigate. I knew how to check things out in the woods from being a hunter just about all my life. Knew how to track animals the whole 9 yards. But, I still got to learn how these other researchers do their thing. So I started learning from them. And then it's, I'm going to say 6-8 years ago, I started full time researching. I had to get out there. I got to figure this out. I'm finding all kind of neat stuff, prints, the structures, the branch twisted breaks, just learning that stuff. Well, I wasn't learning enough. And because I'm into the paranormal, the cryptid, the UFOs, aliens, and because I've had experience in all of that, we're just trying to figure out what these big things are.
Wait. You can't just throw that out there, Bill. So you've had UFO experiences too?
I was 14, yes.
Let's just, we got all the time in the world for you to tell your story.
I seen your eyes lit up when I said it anyhow.
Yes. I would love to hear that because I am on a spiritual journey, and so I get pulled this way and that way, and I am so looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this.
They're out there. I was 14. It was a nice spring day. We're out at the bus stop. All us teenagers waiting for the school bus. I looked up over the hill, and there it was. We're about 3/4 of a mile away from where I'm seeing it, but it was up high. And I'm like, hey guys, look up there. Above quads. Oh, to the left, the quads. Look. The people that lived up on the hill. We're all seeing it. I run back in the house. My mom, she's at the kitchen sink, which was facing that way. I run in and said, Mom, a UFO up over quads. So she's looking out the window like this. Then she turned around and looked at me, pointed. You don't say nothing to nobody. You did not see a thing. Okay.
Was it a craft you saw or a light? It was a craft. Okay. A round saucer shape?
Saucer shape, yep. And it was totally freaking me out at that age.
Did it make noise?
No, it's too far away. So I said, well, I told the guys out there, you tell them to keep their damn mouth shut. Okay. Well, we found out why. Because the guy that lived up on the hill across the road from Watts there took a picture of it. He turned it into the news, the local newspaper, and everyone started calling him a crazy guy. He threw a metal trash can lid in the air and took a picture of it. Well, I'm sorry. I'm 3/4 of a mile away, and that thing was too far up in the sky. That was no trash can lid. I'm telling you. And I went, wow, Mom's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did anything strange happen on the ground?
No. No, it was just hovering high. Next thing you know, it's gone. Quick. It just disappeared.
Did you guys have cattle?
They did on up the hill. A mile up to Harry Warner Farm. Yeah.
This was Pennsylvania.
Yes.
You guys are a hot spot, buddy.
Yes, we are. And actually, 3 years ago this past Christmas, I took 3 reports of one right here in Sharon. Wow. Your eye just got big. Yes.
Oh, I think the whole story there just kind of.
Yeah, but that one was cigar shaped.
Were those 3 reports, were they all different events?
No, same one.
Oh, same.
From 3 different areas around it. One up on the East Hill, one right downtown, one over on the West Hill on the far north side of the West Hill. And they all saw the same thing. All the same report, which I turned into MUFON.
Any other sightings or reports in those areas?
Oh, I haven't taken any other ones, but there's something going on north of us. We've been investigating it. It seems like it might be alien type. I don't want to go too far into it because we're just starting to investigate this. And I had to bring a couple other people in because that's more experience with that end of stuff. And this seems really, really crazy what's going on there. But
when you're ready, we would love to hear that story, but I know you're limited on what you want to say right now.
Yep.
So, now, how long have you been taking reports?
5 years.
And how old were you as a child when you saw it?
I was 14 when I saw the UFO.
How did that affect you?
It freaked me out. It's like, there's things out there that we don't know about. And I'm trying to figure that out at the age of 14, and we're told that that's not happening. Thank you, government. But, and I learned you only take so much belief in the government when it comes to stuff like the cryptid, the UFOs, and the whole 9 yards.
Wow. So it opened your mind anyway.
Big time.
Right.
But the Patterson Gimlin film is what really opened my mind. Then, and then seeing that UFO, it's really like, wow. But then I got older. When I was 17, I joined the Army. Got out of the service. I had to do the adult type stuff. Got married, had kids, and stuff like that. So I didn't really get back into that. I've got to regress again a little bit because I was 13 and a friend of ours. My buddy Brian to work. Yeah, Brian, I don't want to be abducted either. But the thing, I was 13 years old. I had this dream of a friend of a family. Their son got ran over by a truck. I come downstairs that morning for school, and I'm kind of shook up about this dream. I go to my mom. I go, "Did Timmy get run over by a truck?" She went, "No." I said, "Wow, that dream was just too real." She says, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." That evening, He got ran over and got killed.
Wow.
At 13 years old, I'm like, I didn't sleep for 3 more nights because I was afraid something bad's going to happen to someone else. And I kind of blocked that stuff out.
Is that the first time that happened?
Yes.
And has it happened since?
No, but I've been working on opening up my third eye, and I've been picking up more and more. And I'm kind of leery of doing it, but I'm doing it, so maybe I can help somebody or whatever. At my old age, I'm finally getting into it.
When you say open up your third eye, I know what that means to me, but what does that mean to you?
It's part of your consciousness, and it's sort of like a psychic ability is the best way to put it. Oh no,
I was waving to Tennessee, but go ahead, Don. I know you got questions.
No, no, sorry.
I'm
just listening.
I was waiting, Don. But and I want to open up that third eye and be able to help people, but at the same time, I'm being very cautious doing it because of how that dream affected me. And it's a scary thing. It really is for a kid that was 13. But now that we got the UFOs and all that, in my 30s, we've seen a few apparitions. My wife and I bought a house down over the hill here in Ohio, and I'm working 10, 12-hour days and 6 days a week. So when I go to bed, I'm dead. She comes back into the bedroom from getting up to hit the bathroom. She comes in and says, "Who's that little girl playing with your hair?" What? Nobody. And I'm looking around. There ain't no little girl here. She says, "I'm telling you, there's a girl sitting there twirling your hair." "You are dreaming." She said, "I just came from the bathroom. I wasn't dreaming." I said, "Then get in bed because you didn't see anything."
Now, how old was she?
I'm going to say about 7 years old, because 4 days later, I'm in the kitchen. We bought a gas grill. Instead of buying it all put together, I'm going to save a couple bucks and put it together myself. Wow, what a job that was. When we were in the kitchen doing it, my wife and my daughter were in the living room talking. And I turned and looked, and there was this little girl standing there next to me. I'm like, "Whoa, hold it." So I go in the living room and say, "She's here." And my wife's looking like, "Who?" I said, "The little girl. She's in the kitchen with me." So
you said what?
Did everyone see this little girl, or just the children?
Just my wife and me.
What was she normal, or did it look like she had some kind of trauma? Or
she looked somewhat normal. I couldn't really see her face, but she had brown hair, long brown hair, had a little pinkish colored dress on. She's about 7 years old. Hi, Phyllis. That's it's just weird because my wife's seen her and then I seen her. So I go back out in the kitchen and I says, "I don't know where you went, but you're welcome to be here. But you can't be messing with stuff. You can't be scaring us. but you're welcome to stay. Never saw her after that. But about 6 months later, we did sell the house and move. Not because of the little girl.
Yeah, you really wonder if it really was a little girl. You know.
What do you mean by that, Don?
Well, like, the tricksters and the demons try to hide in children to, to approach you.
Okay. Yeah, but
I was going to ask you what your gut feeling was about that.
Yeah.
It was a kid. That was my gut feeling. It was a kid. And I usually trust my gut.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
If my gut says get out of somewhere, I get out. It kept me alive all these years.
Well, I got to say thank you for your service. So let's give people a little piece of your background, because I think that's very important to how you view things and your opinion of the world. Can we go into your service for the community and the country?
Yeah, I've done a lot for the community on the down low. Not patting myself on the back because I don't want that. We've done a lot of different stuff, but I'm really into the research. Since I retired from work and I went full time into this, and it's kind of, be honest with you, it's the biggest rabbit hole I've ever been in.
It is a rabbit hole.
Yes, Don's laughing at me, but it's true. It's true. It seems like I start to get an answer here, but now we got 10 more questions.
I was gonna say, the more you find out, the more questions you have.
Now, did you put your research and you've had paranormal, you've had seen a UFO? Did you put that on the back burner while you were dedicated to this country and this community? And once again, thank you for your service. You're awesome.
Yeah.
So when you got out, it was like you were just free to go. You were just ready.
Yes. And I started researching before I retired, a few years before I started retiring. And I did not think I'd go so far into researching like I did. When I retired, I figured, this would be a casual thing. No, it's not a casual thing. I end up starting my own group called the Agents of the Unexplained.
Perfect name.
Yeah, because everything's unexplained. That there's so much out there to learn, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can on all fronts of this: the cryptid, the paranormal, the UFO. It just, I don't know. I'm big into Bigfoot more than I am the other ends of it, and that I was thinking we need DNA to prove they're out there. Well, Levon, but I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. That I still have a problem with it. But I've lost my train of thought from her question.
I mean, it's okay. Now, when you had an interest in Bigfoot since the Patterson-Gimlin.
Yes.
And listen, we're all human here, so if you get a little frustrated or you have to stop and take a breath, we get it, and you take all the time you need. you just flow, and we'll kind of back off asking
Yeah.
you so many questions, and you
But
just let us know when you're ready.
No, that question there, I just don't want to relive it right now. That's all. But
hey, can I ask you a quick question? When you saw the Patterson Gimlin, did you know right away that that was not a human being?
yes.
Right. Okay.
I
People.
wasn't a teenager yet. I was 8 years old, but I recognized a female anatomy real quick. As a young kid,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
I
It's
get
just funny.
already,
Some people look at it and say not a human, and then the other half of the population is it's a human in a suit. But it doesn't. The
we did not
proportions.
have
Yeah.
these artists to make these things that realistic. Look at Planet of the Apes. They weren't that realistic. They did make them look somewhat like monkeys.
Right.
I get so upset with that.
Yeah, just the proportions.
And back at that time, they're not going to have breasts swinging in the air for everyone to see. You know, let's be real. You know, it sounds ignorant, but in the 60s, you did not show that on TV. You do not show that in the movies. And there it is. Patty showing it all. You know,
Right.
That's where these people don't think. You know, and I get really frustrated with that because you're allowed to have your opinion, but come on, let's be real on some of this stuff and use your brain. But anyhow,
All right.
when I got invited to Saltport to the group camp area, Southern Ohio Society of Bigfoot Investigators, SOSBI as they're called, Jack Warren invited me to go to it. And I'm thinking, I'm never going to see a Bigfoot. I want to hear the Ohio howl. We get there. I get my camp set up. End up, Debbie Preggy from up here, she ended up going. She knew this Mike Bennett that belonged to that group. She met him before. And he asked if we wanted to go riding around Saltport and check things out. I might be able to spot something. I'm sure, let's do this. We go riding around. And let me tell you, this park's beautiful. It really is. I'm very impressed with it. It even got a damn 18-hole golf course in it. It's yeah. Yep. And that blew my mind as soon as I saw that. Yeah, Tennessee. Patty was. No, there wasn't, Blackie. So we checked this whole park out. He took us all over the place, and I'm really impressed with this park, the layout, the woods, the lake, the whole 9 yards. We get back to camp. We're staying there BS, and Mike says, let's go down the Buckeye Trail here. We'll go in 90 to 100 paces, stop, listen, look around, see what we can find. I'm down. Now it's just getting dark. We go in, and there we're standing there, we're looking down the trail and that. All of a sudden, a small stone or a nut come flying up beside us. And it turned around. I'm looking like, where'd that come from? Got to be someone that can't mess with us. You know, that's what I'm thinking. We go up 90, 100 paces, and there's looking around, another stone come flying up. We did this about 3-4 times, and finally Debbie goes, I'm too scared to go any farther. I want to go back. Stay here. You got that scope. Give me the scope. I'll go up ahead about 90 paces. I'll kneel down and start checking out ahead of us. I get up there. I kneel down. I start adjusting the scope like this, trying to look out. Now, out of the corner of my right eye, there's a little movement. I turn and look. 15 feet right inside the wood line, there's one knelt down, leaning in like this, staring at me.
Wow.
That's not what I said.
Right.
That's not what I said. Hey, and I know I told you guys this part, but I'm starting to freak out a little bit. Okay, a lot. And I'm looking at it like I'm not looking it in the eyes. I don't want to look in the eyes because that could be a predator, and you don't stare down a predator, you're going to get hurt. And I'm checking out the body size as it's leaned down. All you see is trapezius muscles. You see its arms, it's real big and wide shoulders. I stood up, it stood up. I go, shit.
That's putting it mildly.
Yes. And I can honestly say, and I told you to do this, I'm 66 now. I was 62 when this happened. I ran pretty damn fast backwards without watching where I was going and didn't even fall down. But I'm yelling for them because it's just getting dark. I know it's darker inside the wood line. So I'm yelling for Mike and Debbie for lights, and I'm panicking. I got close to them, and Mike realized what I was saying. He put his big spotlight down, and he see which way I was looking, and I go, "You see it? You see it?" He goes, "I saw Bigfoot's ass." What? And he's laughing. He says, "Yeah, he's going down over the hill. I saw the backside." But the reason he said it like that, he saw how I was reacting. And he needed to say something to get my mind off of that and calm down.
That's a good technique.
Yeah. And he did me a big favor, but I was still panicking. But it brought me down a couple of levels.
So from the time you seen the Patty film, it took you that long to have so that was just well, I think you already knew, but that moment just justified all of that energy and the reading and the watching, and you had validation. Probably had little brown marks in your pants, but you still had validation.
Actually, no, I didn't. Surprising.
No aggression towards you, no dirty looks towards you.
No, all right. I believe it was an older juvenile, because when it stood up, I saw about where it was standing up next to this tree that was knelt down beside. And I did pay attention to that as running backward in a panic. The guys wanted to go down and see if we can follow it, and when we got back to camp, and I ain't gonna say what I told them. No, we're not. And so we turn around. The next day we go down, and I took a group of guys with me, and we raised the tape measure up. It was around 7 foot tall. I'm not going to say perfect 7 or a little short, a little tall. That's maybe about where it was on the tree. I know it was 4 feet wide.
Any tracks?
They found tracks down below.
13-inch?
I can't remember, to tell you the truth. It might have been 13, 14 inches in that area. I really, I didn't ask them, number one. They were talking about when they came back up. And I was kind of,
right. What color was the skin?
A dark brown. Darker than the hair. The skin was dark brown. The hair was dark brown. All right. The skin was darker than the dark brown hair. And the hair was only 4 to 6 inches long.
When you say brown, do you mean, we don't mean to kind of overwhelm you with questions, but when you say brown, is it like a tanned skin? You know, people that work in the sun, they have like a leather look to their.
Yes, leathery brown, dark brown.
Like chocolate brown, right?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. Wendell, how did you know I was here? Calling everyone troublemakers.
So let me ask you this right quick.
Okay.
Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot brought out a good point. He said he was shocked that the CIA even let, here it is. I am amazed the CIA even ever let the Patty film get out. Now, I know we're jumping, but I had to address that. Thoughts from both of you? Good question.
I don't think the CIA had anything to try to cover that up. I'm more inclined with the Secret Service
or
And
Department of Interior.
Yeah, because I will tell you this: I got a good friend. He was an admiral in the Navy. He was stationed at the Pentagon. He walked past two different offices. One was the Office of UFO Studies, and the other one was the Office of Bigfoot Studies.
Wait. You can't just.
Yes, you heard me right.
Bill, listen. You've been throwing a lot on it. You can't just throw that out there.
Yeah, yes, I can. Because I will get him on your show for you.
I would appreciate that because I love talking to good people, and I'm gonna hold you to that. And you know what? I'll drive to Pennsylvania and I'll buy you a steak dinner if you do that. And
you got a deal now. You're talking my language.
I give you my word. I will do that. Pennsylvania is a beautiful state. I actually lived in Philly for a while. I mean, not a long time. I was taking a break and kind of. But I mean, that's a good question.
Philly.
I was an Eagles fan. I needed a break from law enforcement. I went to. Please don't do that on the show. Don't do that on the show.
We're black and gold. We're not green and white.
I quit watching it when they brought the guy that I forget his Vic on because I'm an animal lover and I just cut ties. I'm like,
yeah.
Thanks.
But you know what?
Right is right.
I rooted them on this year.
I did not. I quit watching after that. It broke my heart that they did that.
Yes.
Okay, I know I'm gonna get some hate email. I will take it. I promise. I will take it. But wait, so you had a friend that worked where? You can't you just put it out there like it's just normal information, buddy. I love you, Bill.
He worked admiral in the Navy. He was working in the Pentagon. Exactly what he was doing in the Pentagon, I didn't ask him because when he threw that information at me, I went, "What? What?"
Just like I did.
Yeah, and he called me and told me more about that stuff. I'll let him talk to you.
Oh man, that'd be a heck of a show.
Yes.
Maybe you'll come on with us. You're part of the family now. So, all right. So we were interrogating you. A former cop came and said about what it looked like. Was the hair? I mean, I'm just curious because what I saw was at night. I weren't even a Bigfoot. But I mean, was the hair look like it was matted or well groomed, or would you say
it was not well groomed, but it wasn't really matted either. That's why I think it was like an older teenager Bigfoot. And I think what it was doing, with all honesty, is like the old Indian game of count and coup, they call it, where they try to sneak up on a person and actually get as close as they can, even touch them without you knowing they touched you or getting that close to you. And I think that's what that one was doing, while these other ones was trying to keep our minds concentrated to the left.
Do you think that, like you said, was juvenile? Do you think that would be something that would be a part of their learning process for prey or survival?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I had the same thing happen to me. I caught a juvenile sneaking up on me. And when I turned to follow it, because it took off when I saw it, as soon as I started walking towards the direction, right to my left, about 100 feet, the parents were there. And they both started screaming at me. So I do the same thing all the time. I just put my hands up and go, all right, all right, all right. And then I
Yes.
turned around. But yeah, I never thought of them. I knew it was some sort of game, or maybe it's their training also, you know.
It's training, but it's a game.
Yeah, you're
A
right.
game to teach them. And, you know, now I'm really going to throw some crazy stuff out there.
Like crazy.
What I saw, I presume, was flesh and blood. Now, people ask me, did you see it jump through a portal? Or did you see it get beamed up like an alien? No. It could have. I did not see that. And I'm not, you know, I presume it was flesh and blood. And I'm going, I'm very open-minded. It could be anything else. You know, you got to be, because none of us know exactly what the hell they are.
That's a good way to look at it. Because, yeah, that's a real good way. You keep your mind open. What do you lean to?
Flesh and blood, and they can be interdimensional. Because of several reports I've taken, and I've read other reports, and one happened here in Mercer County where a trackway came out of the woods behind these people's houses, and it was like 30 yards from the house, 50 yards from the wood line over here. There's no other buildings, and it's going through about 10, 12 inches of snow. The track stopped. Where did it go? We don't know where it went. No.
Oh, sorry. Could it have jumped to something?
To where?
I've seen tracks end about 25 feet from a tree.
There's no trees, no buildings, no outbuildings.
Okay.
No. And believe me, I was checking close too,
Right.
and measuring and that. So
Blue-eyed Northern says, I agree with you, Bill.
thank you. Thank you. Because, you know, we really don't know. You know, all these years of studying, and we still don't know crap. And I'm being honest.
Yeah, these creatures really don't want anything to do with us.
They like watching us as a TV program. We're the comedy club, I guess.
Right.
David says, able to rise their frequencies to enable them to do things that are unfathomable. There's one of them $10 words I can't say. You just have to keep an open mind. And I also agree with Bill. Let me ask you something as a researcher, Bill. I think it could be both, and I'm not trying to lead you, but when you're in the woods and you're hearing like the breaks, do you think they're tree breaks or I'm losing my train of thought.
The cracking,
whacking,
they're popping. You making it with their mouth or both?
It could be both. I don't know. If I see him do it, then I can be an honest answer. Okay. But I cannot give an honest answer on that with saying what it is, because I don't know. And that's one thing I'm very honest about everything I'm doing.
I appreciate that.
Can they, you know, Tennessee agrees with all flesh with the ability to manifest. I don't know about manifestation, but I think they can go through portals.
And that comes with keeping your mind open. I do have a quick question for you. I don't mean to, if me putting the questions are overwhelming you, please let me know.
No, they're not. And Wendell, I think so, but I cannot guarantee it. We follow those tracks backwards, those ones, and you think they'd be a little bit messed up. They weren't. So I don't know.
I,
When I research something and investigate something, I'm looking at all aspects of it, including tree structures, tree breaks. I'm studying it and seeing, can it be natural? Can it be weather? Can it be another animal? Could, you know, did it rotted and break? You you got to study it all and try to figure it out. Yeah.
when Clan Ken, and hey, buddy, you know what? I'm glad to see you, and I hope all is well with you, buddy. Um, he says anybody that says they know 100%, I question. Leaning towards something is understandable.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, I was at a gathering, which I was supposed to go do an investigation. It's a 200-acre hunting camp. Well, I got invited to do an investigation there. I told him when I was coming. Well, he's all excited. He invites all these people to come do a cookout because I'm coming to do an investigation.
That's
I can't investigate with all these people here. They all want to follow me in that. So I said, we're just having this party. Well, the one guy came and he's walking around telling everyone, Bigfoot jumps through portals. That's how he gets around. He's doing this now, pointing in everyone's face, telling them. And I'm sitting there with a small group off to the side. And you're going to say something to him? I said, that's his belief. I don't care. I really don't care. And, he can believe that. Well, there's an 86-year-old man just came for food and socialization because he's been living alone for 12 years since his wife died. He went over to that guy and he's pointing right in his face like this, saying this crap. I went, that's it. And the one dude sitting there said, uh-oh. I got up, I walked over and said, excuse me. He turned, yeah. I says, they jump through portals. He went, yeah, that's what they do. I went, oh, have you seen a portal? Well, no. Have you seen a Bigfoot? No. I said, well, let me explain something to you right now. I'm the investigator, researcher that's here. That's what I do. All right. So, what kind of proof do you have that they do this? Well, I don't. I'm just telling you. I said, you better put your finger down, sit your ass down, and shut up till you learn to say that's what you believe. Other than that, shut up. And don't ever put your finger in the face of an old man like that guy again. He got mad, walked away. A couple people walked up to me and says, you know who that was? I went, no. Armstrong County Commissioner. Oh, really? Good for him. He could shut the hell up. I was so mad because he did that to that old man. Other than that, I didn't care.
You're a little spicy, Bill. I love it, buddy. I love it.
I got to stick up for people. I'm sorry. Oh, you know that. You found that out, huh?
Yeah, we're a good family here, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me ask you about the infrasound.
Oh, that's nasty stuff.
Wow. Let's get into that. I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna be off screen for a moment, but I'm listening, okay?
Okay. All right. The first time I got hit, I was bear hunting in Indiana County, PA, up on Penview Mountain, up in an area called Bear Cave. And that's only a few miles from where I was living down in Indiana County at the time. Yeah. So I walked over we're on top of the mountain. I'm headed down over a little bit just so I can hear the train, hear the river. The bear comes up. He's going down to the bottom. I'm dragging his ass to my place because I'm like a mile from my place once I hit down on the bottom of the mountain there. So it's like, yeah, drag him downhill. go get the four-wheeler, come get them, drag them out.
Bill, where did you get hit with infrasound? Could you feel it in a certain part of your body?
My whole body.
Your whole body?
My
Okay.
whole body.
Yeah, I used to get it in the gut, and then the last time they got me in the side of the head. And
Yeah,
I felt that one. Yeah.
Well, this time it really disoriented me because I'm going this way. I ended up 3/4 of a mile that way. And I'm looking around like, where in the hell am I? I don't hear the train. I don't hear the river. I'm looking around. Nothing looks familiar like it should. And here comes this other hunter walking up the hill. And I go, I kind of got myself turned around. Well, where's Bear Cave Cabin? Oh, 3/4 of a mile back up that way.
Were you just disoriented, or did you not remember?
I didn't remember either.
Okay.
How I got there. But I'm totally disoriented, and my head's like all foggy. I'm like, so I head back up. I see my friends' vehicles are gone. So I don't know how long I've been out of this. I unloaded my gun, put it in the back seat, jumped in the car, and went home. I go walking in. My ex-wife, my wife at the time, you're home early. Yeah. I kind of got lost up there. I'm disoriented now. I'm going to bed. Well, that was back in 99, 2000. 4 years ago. Yeah, it was like 4 years ago. We're at this farm that Debbie Preggy was investigating, that the farmer had a Bigfoot walk out in front of him. And so we've been investigating there for a little over a month now. But we did find some tracks and stuff in there. And we're up in there. We're kind of split up a little bit, but we can still see each other. Next thing I know, my head started hurting. I'm getting lightheaded. I'm getting sick of my stomach. I'm having a hard time breathing. So I had to sit down, and Debbie called Mary Fabian to ask her what was going on, because Bill just got all this stuff happened to him. She says, it's infrasound. Was you guys close together? Debbie says, no. She says, it's trying to separate you, so get the hell out of there. That's what we did. I was getting back to the vehicles. I started feeling a little bit better, but it took me all day to get through that feeling. The nausea, the headache, the weakness, and it was totally weird.
Do you think when they use infrasound that they use that to do you think they can sense a weakness on a person, or do you think infrasound itself will automatically target that weakness? Because I have a heart.
I think it was targeting me because Debbie's a pretty blonde, and it's like, ooh, female, and I do believe that it was targeting me.
I think it affects everyone differently. Some people hallucinate.
Yes.
Some people hear things.
Well, I asked for this reason. I have a speedy heart, so sometimes I wear out really fast. And when I was on my best friend's property, Tina, she has, she's actually found a track and seen one by what she believes to be one behind her barn. It was huge. It was the only thing it could be. Let's be for real. But I don't think a bear is going to go over the top of the head's going to go over the top of the barn. But we were in a clearing behind her house, and it wore me out. My butt was on the ground.
Yes.
It took me maybe 20 minutes where I felt like I could walk out of there. and it was hard for me to breathe, and it was just like a nauseous feeling. And I was
Yes.
fine when I come in, but
Uh,
I never say that's what it is because I do have a speedy heart, but I don't get
well,
nauseous from it.
I have AFib, but no, that wasn't it. That's definitely not it. But Tennessee, tigers, yes. Whales, yes. Elephants, yes. So yes, I believe the Bigfoot can, but they
Wow.
use that slow their prey down or
Okay.
totally disorient them so they can get them.
Yeah, you
I
just
do
answered
believe
my
that.
question. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you thought they used infrasound in hunting.
Yes.
So you would be prey.
Yeah. Or, you know,
I've heard of deer being very disoriented when being hit by infrasound, but maybe it's a different frequency when they hit humans. So they don't really mess us up like they do deer.
yes. Um,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. That's a scientific study that way beyond my
Well,
brain.
it seems like
But
they don't want to hurt us. You know what I mean? There's
for the
no
most
intent
part,
for
I
the
don't
most
always
part, right?
agree with that. Yeah.
Unless you go out shooting at them, you know.
I don't always agree with that. There's good and bad and everything.
yes.
But you're
That's,
entitled to your opinion from your experience, Don. I respect that.
yeah. All right.
Don
You
shot.
might have a rogue male Bigfoot that just got kicked out of the clan uh, for going up against the alpha male. So now he's mad.
Right.
He's
Oh,
gonna take it out on you. You're the
when I
weaker
say
species.
right, when I say they don't want to hurt us, I do mean for the most part, you know.
Yep.
Don's just in shock. Don's
Part,
just in shock. I was nice to him tonight, so I'm working on it, buddy.
did you say something?
Sorry, sorry, Bill. You are the star of this show. We are so sorry. We will.
No, I'm not. The guests all in the chat room are.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And folks, I do have my own podcast too.
Yes,
And
please put it out there.
we love the audience. We do. And mine's just like this one. It's laid back. Let's talk. There's questions from the audience. Let's answer it. And that's the way I enjoy it myself. And that's the way I learn a lot of stuff too.
Right.
So,
Now, Bill, have you ever felt any ground pounding?
It's a possible. I'm not totally sure if it was or not. You can tell it was coming from a distance.
Okay. Almost like a truck hitting a bump in the road or something, you know?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Since my experience at Saltport, which I go back there a lot, we've had a lot more experiences there. And the following year after my sighting, we did a group camp there. And my friend from Constructon, Ohio, Jay Fouch, he worked and came after work. It was close to midnight he came and brought all these pictures that he took. Some are very blurry, of course, but some you can actually tell they were Bigfoot. And he said, "Oh, let me get the other ones out of my car to show you." He said, "I brought a couple different stacks." Okay, I follow him to his car. And as soon as he opened up his door, start reaching in, there was a howl way out over. And oh, you hear that? You hear that? Yeah, I heard that. And he's looking around. And then off to the left of that, where the howl was, 3 white orbs.
Thank you.
And now that kind of freaked me out because they were moving and turning. You can tell they were like the size of a basketball, but they were way out there, so they could have been bigger.
Oh, down with this.
So that it's turning that, and you can actually see it go through trees. It's
Right.
like, and it's freaking us out watching it.
Do you think the Bigfoot was howling at those?
I don't know if it was traveling with it.
Oh, okay.
Now,
No, I got a question about
yeah.
I got a question about Salt Fork. It seems there's a lot of videos that come out of there. You know, a lot of pictures come out of there. Do you think they're getting used to the humans? There's a lot of researchers that go in there,
oh, big time.
and these are a lot of people that are not going in hunting them. Do you think they're getting a little less afraid or threatened by the humans in that area?
That's a good possibility. I never thought of it that way. I think we're just their TV. We're the entertainment.
Right.
And especially around the group camp area.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think
That
it's more the younger ones that are doing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen some videos and pictures of some big ones out there, but they're usually walking away.
Now, I hate to say this, and I'm not going to mention his name, but someone told me what his name was in his group, and he's from near there, and he's done some hoaxing in there. And that, if I see his stuff up, I tell people. But saying this is fake, and I'm sorry, I hate hoaxers. I hate them with a passion.
They are the worst. I put them right there with bullies. They both are just low form of whatever. But when it comes to, and Uwari has someone that does that, and they think it's funny, and they're very vocal about it. But what is it about Salt Fork? Is there a history there that we need to know about, or is it just a good habitat?
It's good habitat, not just the park itself, but the whole surrounding area. You know, Blue Eye, why have you not been to Salt Fork?
She got snatched away to Louisiana.
Why? Have you been to Hocking Hills? That's the other hot area. But I haven't been to Hocking Hills either, so I can't say much. That's on the bucket list for the next 2 years.
Hi, Riley.
Now, what type of tree structure?
I didn't do that. I did not.
I was going to ask, did you do that, Mrs. B?
I know I'm mean to Don, but I did not do that. I don't know what happened. He
kicked himself.
He said, what kind of... I did not do that.
I know what...
We have a love-hate relationship, but I wouldn't do that.
I can answer that question.
Yeah.
I've seen teepees. I've seen twist and breaks. I've seen X's. The X's, I studied them real close because a lot of them are natural. And when someone says, "Oh, here's this X," no, that's not it. That's a natural. You can see where it just broke off. There's the stump. It fell over. It's rotted. So no. But the ones that really intrigue me on the X's are the one when you have a 20-foot tall tree and it has the root ball at the top.
Wow.
Okay. And there's no divots in the ground around there. You ain't going to get a group of men to carry that through the damn woods to prop it up to make a hoax in the middle of the forest. I don't care. That ain't happening. I cannot believe that would happen. The state of Indiana, Kevin, no. Indiana, PA, yes. Actually, we went. No, I actually found a nest there. Well, my good buddy did. That I asked him to meet me at the one area to help do the research, and we kind of split up. He calls me on the phone and said, "Where are you at?" And I told him. He says, "Well, come back over this way." He said, "I found something you need to look at." And I go back and looked like a damn nest to me.
Here's one from David. I don't know if he's talking about with UFOs or with Bigfoot or what. I'll let you ask him if he wants to. He says,
No.
have you ever had anyone heard of someone becoming completely paralyzed except for the ability to blink and think, like sleep paralysis, but wide awake?
No, I haven't. I have
Wow.
not. The bond says yes in the Allegheny National Forest. I never heard that up there, but there's so much strange stuff up there. Especially you get up around Kinzoo. You got UFOs, you got Dogman and Bigfoot. You got portals. It's all kind of weird stuff.
David, did you mean Indiana, Pennsylvania, or the state? We weren't sure. You might have answered that. I don't know.
I didn't see an
Um,
answer.
Here's one for you. William, we love William. Rusty. He also has a podcast. Can someone put Rusty's? Oh, you know Rusty's podcast, The Blues Doctor.
No, but I'm gonna shake my head. Yes, from chorus. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let me read that out loud because if you got anything you want to say about it or stories, we would love to hear it. Has Bill heard any reports from Cook Forest near northwest Pennsylvania?
Yes, a couple of them. Actually, I went to people's houses and knocked on doors to ask them if they had any. A few people said I was a nutcase, but you know, I didn't care. I wanted to check things out when I was up there. And a few people told me they've had weird things happening at the house, the knocks, slapping of the houses. So, yeah,
Now,
Cook Forest is a very interesting place too, and that's part of the Alleghenies. But
now this Don says my computer just my com- should I read this?
wait a minute.
Quote my
Oh, this
Don.
could be good.
I'm gonna do this with a straight face.
Don't start
My
laughing.
computer just shit the bed. I think I'm trying another restart.
Oh, poor Dawn.
My co-host, y'all, my partner in crime. Here's one.
That my buddy Brian DeWort met us up there at the Allegheny National Forest. He showed up at night. That was a mistake. He drove around for a while to get to us. Oh,
Wow.
I love Brian. He's awesome. He's awesome.
I hear a story there, so we love
I'll let
stories.
him
That's why
say
we're
it.
here. Okay. That's
Yes.
Secret Squirrel. So the asterisks, what do you think they mean?
No damn idea. I really don't. I don't know what these structures mean. You know, you see an X. Oh, X marks the spot, or X don't go there. And people got all their own thinking on that. Do we really know? No.
Now, the legend of the chat, Gary, I had asked a dogman question. He says, have you ever seen a dogman or experienced a dogman? I can't remember the exact question.
I did not see one. I took a report that's not more than a half a mile from my house. And it's a credible report.
Now, here's one from. I'm sorry. Did I cut you off, sir?
The dog man, a good friend of mine, researcher friend, Jamie King, and Sparky, Jim Sparks, they have taken dog man reports through this area. They mainly follow the river here. It's what I'm starting to see. And being a half mile from my house, that about made me feel my pants. I don't want to run into a dog man.
Wow.
Have you ever received what you perceive to be gifts from them or notice what looks like glyphs? Yes, we have. In my one area that I go into. They won't show themselves that or anything. But where I usually go in and sit and watch and listen, we found different things put there that's not natural to that spot, that little area. And that it's like, wow, this is cool. Okay. And I do talk to them. If I'm by myself, I let them know I'm there. It might seem stupid, but I do speak to them, let them know I'm there, and I'm not there to do any harm. I'm just there to visit. If they want to visit with me, please do. And we get in there, and we sit and we listen, and we look around. And I know when they're there because there's nothing moving, not even a bird, a chipmunk, a squirrel. And I'm watching for them, but I don't see them. The only time I did not talk and say I was there because I had a lot of crap on my mind, I just walked in. Now there's this open brush field on the left side of me going down this trail. The woods to the right side, and there was woods up above the brush, and where I go in at is down below that brush into the woods. I go about another 50 to 75 feet. We go into almost to the end of the brush field, and on the same side of the brush field was the loudest tree knock I have ever heard. It made me jump. And I'm looking around like, how can it be right here? There's no trees. The trees are down there, the trees are up there, and the trees are over there. And I'm going, I'm sorry, it's me. It was crazy. I had a lot on my mind. I apologize. I'm just going in and sit. There was no sound, no nothing for an hour and a half. So I walked back out and started up the trail, and I finally heard a bird.
A crow would tell on them.
Yeah, and they were crazy. My boy Johnny from North Carolina.
Johnny's my buddy. You can't have him. He's going to stay right
he's
here.
my buddy too.
No, he's my buddy more. I'm sorry. And Johnny,
Phyllis, thank you for following me for a while now. I do appreciate it.
Well, maybe when we can get something going on in North Carolina, Bill, we'll just drag you right down here. But I got to tell you, Johnny and John, a few ways good as it get. And you know what? Not to change the subject, but speaking of our North Carolina people, me and Carolina Cryptid and Lynn went out last night to Uwari. And let me tell you what not to do if you want to go in the field. And yes, y'all can laugh at me. I've gained a lot of weight, so I started hitting the gym hard. And I'm trying to change my diet and everything. So I decided I want to do 100 bench leg presses. At the last 50 was the highest weight I could get. That ripped my muscles down. And don't worry, it takes me about 2 days to feel it. So me and Matt from Carolina Cryptid. We were going to go hiking to get my PT in for today. There was no hiking. I said, you know what? I will go down that hill and we'll get between those two peaks. But if it comes out of those woods, y'all just tell me goodbye and I'll say my prayers because I couldn't do it. That is what not to do for going out in the field and trying to have it. Just follow me for more failure advice. I'll give it to you. You're welcome. So
I'm laughing because I resemble that. I've done that once.
it's the truth, buddy. I like to kill myself.
Well, my good friend Jamie King and my other good friend Les Odell from West Virginia. I don't know if you know him or heard of him, but he
yes.
He is the ultimate researcher. Well, he came up here, and me and Jamie had him out, and we're walking. Well, the next night, I ended up in the hospital. I broke a blood vessel in my lung with having pneumonia. And I was coughing up blood constantly. So I blame Les and Jamie. Yeah, I knew I wasn't feeling good, but I was not passing out a chance of getting out there with Les. Because to me, he is the ultimate researcher. He does backstories on it and see if there's any backstories in that area. He totally researched the whole thing from the library, the computer, going there, researching the whole 9 yards. And that's the way you should do it. And I got nothing but love and respect for him. So I wanted to get out. I ended up in the hospital for it, but I got out there. And it was a great experience being out with them, both of them, because they're both great researchers. And that's not a small guy. He really ain't. But he is a mountain goat and a half. And he keeps on going. And goes into places we don't understand.
Well, I'll say this. The only way I was going back down that mountain is they rolled me like a jelly roll, buddy. My legs were done. They were done. I think.
Brian, be quiet, buddy.
Wait, what?
I'm not talking about the helicopter ride.
Oh, you don't? Okay,
Oh.
so you got to hold of Brian.
My buddy Brian gonna get me in trouble. No, a few years back, 2 years back, I think. I thought I had pneumonia really, really bad. And I got COPD from years of smoking. I quit 7 years ago. But I do have COPD. Well, I thought that was flaring up or I got pneumonia. I called the pulmonary doctor in the morning. They said, get to the hospital. I said, no, I'm not going to go sit in the hospital for 8 hours before they see me. I'm not doing it. Get me into the office. We can't. We got no appointments open today. I said, well, I ain't going to the hospital. I hung up on them. They called back. They said, we need you to go to the hospital. I said, I'm not going. My wife had this one appointment and she had to go to it. This is the third time that they canceled it twice. We're not canceling it the third time. She's going. And I'm the only one here that can drive her today. Where's she having this testing done? Was it Farrell or Greenville? I said, it's in Greenville. I said, so she got to be there 1:15. So make my appointment around that time up there if you can. If not, I'm not going. I'll just die here at home. And they like 10 minutes later, they called me back and said, be there. And so I drive up there and I'm thinking, God, I'm going to die on the way up. If I don't and I wreck because I can't breathe, my wife's going to kill me anyhow. So, but we got up there I go back in, they go and do this walk and breathing test. And we start walking, we walk 8 feet. And he goes, well, if you need to sit down, sit down. And so you can rest. I said, no, I'm pushing through it. He says, no, sit down in that office right there. We're done. What? He gets on the phone and called the ER and says, bring a patient over. I think he's having a heart attack.
Oh, my goodness, Bill.
I went, oh, no. I went, well, we've got to stop and tell my wife where we're going. He said, I'm getting you to the ER. I'll go tell your wife personally. I said, no, I'm going. He said, no, you're going to the ER. Take me to the ER. They hurried up and start doing blood work, EKG, and the doctor come flying in saying, EKG showing something, blood work's not showing anything. You got 2 places I want to send you. It can be Erie Hospital up in Erie, which is 2 hours away from me. And I'm thinking, oh, shit, they're going to send me to Pittsburgh. And my wife don't like driving down to Pittsburgh. He goes, Jameson. That's a half hour from my house. I went, we'll go to Jameson. I said, I'll drive there. He says, you ain't driving. I already called the helicopter. So what I do, I'm in the helicopter. I'm doing a Facebook Live so I can watch out the window because I couldn't sit up to look out the window.
Bill, Henry says it's perfect. He says stubborn don't get you far. Bill.
It got me up in the helicopter searching for Bigfoot.
So it was premeditated. Jesus.
Oh man. So yeah, that's the story on that. But they found out my lungs were filled with blood clots. And that's what was wrong with me. So I'm very fortunate. It was no heart attack. Very fortunate. They caught the blood clots in time before it killed me.
Wow. There was
yeah. Brian says take a thermal for the chopper ride.
Yeah, there you go. So let me ask you this: of all the, I'm sure more questions are going to come in, and I think let's see. Oh, let me say I'm a scatterbrain. You can't have Johnny. You can come to North Carolina, but you can't take him with you. Okay, Bill?
Hey,
and I will.
Johnny came up to Pennsylvania to visit one friend, and he made sure that me and him could meet up. So, what's that tell you, Miss B?
I will rent them out for a search charge, sir.
No. Me and him's buddies.
Well, we're going to go see you, but you're welcome to come down here.
Oh,
I do believe Bill just put me in my spot, and I couldn't have a better person do it. Yes, sir. I love you, Bill.
Yeah.
I do want to say this before I forget, since Chad is still in the chat. The Oddcast podcast. The Oddcast podcast. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Blackie, for forgiving me for my shortcomings. So I know I've got more questions in here. Did we not cover anything that look, he said Vicky rocks. Thank you, sir. Did we not cover anything you wanted to hit on before we get more questions? Obviously you got a fan club here. They just adore you. You're a good person.
Well, I'm glad I got a fan club. About time. No. No, seriously. Like I told you before, I'm honest about my research, about people's other researches, and and you got to be honest about what you're looking at. And and another thing I do not like, and I scroll past because a lot of people start screaming about them, the red circles.
Okay. I was so guilty of that back in the day.
Oh.
Should we replace them with arrows or little arrows?
I did something crazy the one day. I did blue circles for people.
Well, that threw them off, didn't it?
I says, I hate red circles, so here's some blue. And I posted it in my group.
Now, do you know Misty from Woodwalkers?
Yes. I don't know her personally, but I know of her.
Oh gosh, she's the Bigfoot sweetheart. She go back and read the comments. You got some very endearing comments, but she's into herbs, and she can tell you what you could mix up and make yourself better. It's all natural. And Carl, look, Miss V, you're a hologram because you keep learning. And yes, you are right. And I think my camera's going out. But if this podcast was perfect, you wouldn't be on my podcast. That's why it would be the Not So Perfect Bigfoot Show. So it's Muddy Creek now. So I'm striving to do better, sir. Carl. Okay, let's see what else we got.
Thank you, Phyllis. I do my podcast similar to yours. We just let it flow. I hate scripts. I really do. Come on now. You're not going to keep me on track. I get scatterbrained too. And I found out why I ended up with the blood clots, and it wasn't because of my COPD. Last year, I ended up with severe pneumonia. Ended up in the hospital. I almost died.
I remember.
As I was getting through, this was Thursday. I went in the hospital on Monday. This was Thursday. I'm starting to feel better. They didn't have me hooked up to the IVs. I got the monitor in my pocket here. I got to get up and go into the bathroom as soon as I woke up. I'm feeling all totally weird. I come out of the bathroom, and there's 4 nurses there, all bombarding me with different questions. And my main nurse goes, get in bed, lay down, you're in AFib. Say, what? What? Something wrong with my heart? Yes, you're in AFib. Lay down. That totally blew my mind. And found out AFib can cause blood clots because of the fluttering of the valves in your heart. So that's why I got my helicopter ride. Now I'm on stuff for that. I probably won't get another helicopter ride. So I can't do no more filming from the sky. All right,
So basically what I heard out of all of that is that you're still stubborn, and it's probably going to take you out one day.
Yeah.
But we're going to pray for you and we're going to see you healthy, because I'm a praying woman, and I'm going to see you healthy, buddy.
I'm back to being healthy. I really am. And I took just about all last year off. Just about. I did try to push it a little bit. I did go to the Alleghenies. I did go to a couple events. But I mainly stayed home. This winter, I stayed home. I didn't go out in the super cold like I usually do.
You got a lot of friends out there in the Bigfoot community, and we're family.
Yep.
And I don't know if you ever watched John Futway's show, The Brown Shoes of Bigfoot.
Yep.
Where we're the brown shoes of Bigfoot, and we love you, buddy. And you've got family here. All right, enough being sappy, because I'm not into that. Anyway, can't let you see my soft side. So Riley says, this is an opinion question. He says, okay, put my skeptic hat on. Why is there more clear footage of he always puts those words up there. He knows I can't say it. If he can say that, say that. Since Patterson Gimlin film, if it was flesh and blood creature.
Okay.
Slaughtered down.
There is. There is. I've seen them. A lot of them are not put on the internet, though, because they don't want to be, this is CGI or AI, or this is all fake. Now, I talked about my buddy real quick, Jay Fauci from Constructing, Ohio. He got some beautiful pictures of from what he calls the monkey farm. The one was on top of the roof of the one building running across of it. The thing is, a lot of people won't share their pictures publicly because of the ridicule and that. Even though Bigfoot is now a mainstream idol, I still get ridiculed locally here from people. I just laugh at them. You know, you got to have a tough skin doing this. You really do. And you're putting yourself out there.
Riley said, and I'll say something to this. He says, I used to get kicked out for asking too many questions. Not when you're with the right people. And I think you found your tribe between, you know, Muddy Creek, Woodwalkers, O-Line Cryptid, the Oddcast podcast, you know, Southern Belle. I got to say all of them.
Let me tell you something, Riley. I'm going to tell you right now. You're not going to learn a damn thing if you don't ask. And on my podcast of Agents of the Unexplained, I want questions. We need questions. Because some of my guests might have the answers you're looking for, or I might have the answers. But if I don't have the answer, I'll tell you I don't know. And LaVon, she does ask a lot. But they're damn good questions.
She does.
She does. You know, I love LaVon and her questions. My good friend Sparky, he throws out some awesome questions out there. And I asked him the one day, I says, where in the hell are you coming up with these questions? Are you Googling stuff to get it? He says, no, they just come top of my head listening. You know, so we need these questions. Riley, if you get put down for asking questions, just tell them, well, since you know it all, why don't you tell me?
Absolutely, Riley. That means you're on the wrong channel and in the wrong group. So,
Riley, you can be a skeptic all you want. I'd rather you be a skeptic. And I'm speaking at a lot of events this year. I really overstepped the boundaries there with it. But my first question usually goes out like this to the audience. How many are believe in Bigfoot? And they a bunch of hands will go up and I go, I don't. They're looking at me like, what? I know, I saw one. So, you know, and that sets the tone.
Wow. What would you tell someone? What do you think? What would you tell someone that is just starting to get into the field? Is it as much important to prove they're out there or to have that validation for yourself that you're not crazy? Do you think that's why we push to have them proved, or do you think that's even the issue anymore? Because the world is up to.
It was more of a validation for me. Okay, not for everyone else. And like I said before, I was so dead set on DNA.
Yeah, I read
that right. But anyhow.
Oh, let me just read it out loud for when it goes down to podcast level. Hey, Hillary. This is from Misty Woodwalkers. Hey, Hillary, my sexy love muffin. Okay.
Okay.
Podcast land, I can read that.
That totally blew my mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That really blew my mind.
You're welcome, you guys. Hillary.
Thanks, Misty. I needed that.
Hillary. I don't know if you know Hillary. She's a riot, boy.
Yeah.
But Lord, Hillary, I'll be praying for you, Mama.
Oh my. I need this tonight.
Well,
But I gotta say one thing, no. You know, I'm very honored you have me on here. And I kind of screwed up on the dates because today is WrestleMania. Yeah, I forgot it was WrestleMania. So I'm here, but all I'm going to say is, yeet, my man won.
yeet, we'll do it for you. And he won right before the show.
Yes, he did. And I thought I was going to miss the ending, but nope.
I know how important that is. My buddy here has a question for you, Win. Opinion only. I think some cannot cloak at certain times, maybe, but usually they can. Some don't care. LOL. So it's okay.
I don't know if they can cloak. Okay. I call them wood smarts, not street smarts. Because they don't live in the streets. I believe they can use the woods to their advantage. But a friend of mine on Eastern PA had one crossing the highway in front of him as he's coming home from work. And it just disappeared like it cloaked. So I can't say they can't do it. I got to say, I don't know for sure.
Well, that's why we have conversations about it.
Yeah.
And we should be open to each other that have different opinions. Absolutely.
So in the woods, I think they use the woods. But crossing a highway and disappearing like that on them, and now it freaked him out. He was a great researcher too, and it freaked him out. And he called me right away, and you can tell in his voice it freaked him out. And so anything's possible with these things. You know, I'm not going to say they can't. I don't think they can, but with that situation, did it, or did his brain play tricks on him?
I guess that's a follow-up to Misty's.
Yeah, I'm taking it is.
Misty's love fest comment. Jeff says, damn, it's getting wild tonight. Well,
Gary, did you see it yourself?
Where's it at? What did I miss?
Gary Spikes.
Hang on.
It scrolled on up.
Yeah, wait a minute. Do you see it?
All right. Gary says, I do not believe in cloaking until I saw it myself.
Wait a minute. I got to find that. I'm so sorry.
And he goes, yes, I did. It's up around 942 area.
Well, listen, my chat normally don't move this fast, so you just brought your magnetic personality and
no, I think Misty got them all worked up.
Misty. Yes, Misty. Hillary. You got one with a halo, one with horns. Y'all decide.
I'm having fun with this one tonight. I really am. Thank you.
Actually, we need
to be here all week, Misty. Good.
You guys are.
Yeah, right, Misty. Wasn't behaving.
You guys are good for the soul. That's
yes, William. They do have much better night vision than humans. But you know what? I just had cataract surgery, so I see a lot better now. So I think I'm going to get on the same wavelength that them is looking at night. You want to buy that one? I got swampland in Arizona. But no, seriously. The thing is, I believe they could see a lot better than we can, night or day. I really do. And I believe they can see infrared. You know, and that's why you don't get so many game camera pictures. I believe they can smell the oil because the plastic is an oil base that surrounds those game cameras. I believe they can smell that. Even though it's electronic, it still makes sounds when it takes pictures. I believe that helps with that.
You want to read that in case Misty don't see it?
Which one? When did they have time to play games?
It says, Misty, can we go live and hunt bunny eggs tomorrow? Them two are just boy.
Oh,
Yes, Lord have mercy. So let me ask you this. I watched I do a lot of, I watch a lot of survival videos.
mm-hmm.
And one of the things I seen that I was going to share to the group and didn't get a chance to, and I got to go find it now. But it was these two soldiers talking about, hiding from drones and infrared and everything. But they also went further. And when you have your cell phones and you have your, working with your equipment and you're trying to evade people, they actually went a step further to show what it would look like when you're trying to hide in the forest and you're picking up your phone and your the screen's hitting off your face, or you're taking pictures, or you're getting out your it was very interesting. But we give ourselves away out there. So I believe they
Big time.
have a lot of good, I believe they have good sights and instincts, but we're not really on our game all the time out there.
When I'm out in the woods researching and investigating, I try to be on top of my game, way on top. But you're not always doing that when you go out. So, David, I like what you're saying there, but which is a good possibility. But the thing is, when I went in the service, I learned guerrilla warfare. Long was just over. So I learned that to be fighting in guerrilla warfare in the woods. I was hunting since I was 12 years old. I learned how to track animals. I learned how to track humans. So you learn to do different things in the woods. Why can't a Bigfoot? They live in that woods. We're walking in their home. So they know how to hide from us right under our noses. They know how to blend in with their society. Now, let me, I hate to use this movie as a reference, but the very ending of Harry and the Henderson, when the whole clan comes out, how do we know they're not doing the same thing to us, watching us? We don't know. I believe they're watching us a lot when we're out there. And I don't take a lot of equipment with me anymore when I go out, because when I go out just to go out and research, I go out in the woods, find a place to sit, just sit there, listen, watch. I might have a thermal with me just in case, but taking all this other stuff with you, no. Now and then I will take my backpack. It will have my ghost hunting stuff. I'll use that even to research. But man, I just go out and sit and listen and keep an eye out, and I believe you get up more. Yes, Misty, you're right. And Hillary, where are we going to go fight? I got your back. I heard you were badass. Miss V, what are you saying? Is she reading? Yeah, Misty, you're right. We do. It seems to work better. Did you mute yourself, Miss V?
Yes, sir. I put myself in time out. I sure did. I was laughing so hard at Misty.
But
Listen, Hillary. Well, Hillary, after you go on Woodwalkers, you're just going to have to come and help me and Don co-host one night. And let's just listen. These ladies are Bigfoot, man. These ladies are Bigfoot. So let me ask you this, and this is to me, it's biblical. And I mean, anyone that knows me behind the scenes know I'm kind of on a spiritual journey and trying to grow. Do you think it's biblical, and do you think it's a thinning of the veil? Do you think, because if you look at it biblically, this is my interpretation. Do you think we're going to see an uptick in the strange and cryptid?
I don't know if that's so much biblical, but I believe we're going to get a lot more reports because people are more relaxed in talking about it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opinion question. We don't have.
I'm trying to. I like that question, and I'm trying to answer it. I grew up in a church. I'm not very religious, and I admit that. I believe in my higher power, and that. Are we getting close to the end of time, getting all this uptick? I don't know. None of us know. I believe we're going to get a lot more reports because a lot of people are now not as afraid to speak because they can hide behind their monitors.
I'll say this, and I'm trying to get this gentleman on my show because whether you're Christian or religious or whatever, he actually spoke about Bigfoot, and he made it very clear that if even one person in the world has seen one and they're telling the truth, then he was going into a biblical stance. That is an acknowledgement to me. It may not be an acknowledgement to anyone else, and that's okay.
I read that somewhere. Who is this?
I don't have his name in front of me. I'll send you the links.
Yes, because I remember reading something about that.
He was on Confessionals. That's how I found him. And I'm gonna tell you what, that man, if you go to his YouTube channel, it's a disservice not to say it, because I was listening to him before the show. Troy Brewer. I mean, I got introduced to him from the Confessionals, but I'm gonna tell you what, I've been listening to him for the last 2 days, and just whether you're, it's faith-based for you or not, the fact that this, for me, the way he broke it down biblically and through, the teachings, it hit home with me. And I'm like, whoa, I had to apply the brakes because I used to think flesh and blood. I was kind of torn between it, and it's okay to feel one way about it one day and another way about it next day because we don't know. But I had to apply the brakes and say, wait a minute, I, I, I've got to regroup and do my own,
Yeah.
word with the Bible,
Yes. And okay. Some people say Nephilim. I don't believe so. I believe they died during the flood. But the red-haired giant of Kandahar, was that a Nephilim?
But those are still being seen.
Yeah, I just don't know. It just adds more to the questions in this deep, deep rabbit hole.
We have opened a wormhole here.
Yes, we have. And
Good night, Diane.
good night, Diane, and thank
You're a great mod, girl. You're a great mod.
you.
When did you cut your question off, buddy? When Clan Ken. Awesome guy there. Greg and Misty are like, man, two peas in a pod, and then you throw Hillary in there and it's chaos. Well, William has it here. He says, but aren't we all biblical in a sense? If you believe in God, is omniscient. God, yes. You guys with those words.
Yeah, that's pretty much true, William. Pretty much true. That omniscient part of it, you're right. But we have different senses.
Yeah. And I'm okay with people not thinking when I shut my mind down because someone thinks different than me, because I'm still learning. I'm still learning. And, next week something might change my mind, but I know now, things for me now are going this way. I will always have people on my show with a different opinion than me because they are all equally important. Do you guys have any last minute questions for our big guy here, our rock star, Bill?
No rock star, just little old me.
Well, you definitely are coming back. I would love to do a round table from just people from Pennsylvania. I would love to have that. And I would love to have that. Let's see if Gary will put your podcast. Do you guys have any last minute questions? I've really enjoyed you being on, and it's been a pleasure, and I was honored when you agreed to come on, and it was something I've always been standoffish because asking you about because I wasn't sure how the reception would be. But I mean, you're awesome, and you have a lot of people in this community that just absolutely adore you and have a lot of respect. And you also do a lot of conferences and talks, don't you?
This year, yeah. I got, where's my paper? Not just that. Even though I had cataract surgery, I can read, but now I can't read my own writing. May 17th, I'll be in West Virginia at Brooke County at the fairgrounds doing a talk there. I'm one of several speakers. I'll be speaking at Patsy Hillman in Fayette County, Patsy Hillman Park, July. I'll be speaking August 16th at Jefferson Volunteer Fire Company in Greene County, Pennsylvania. August 2nd, I'm going to be at Squonkapalooza in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. August 9th, I will be in Central PA Bigfoot and Cryptid Fest. Gwen Purcell puts that on. September 27th and 28th, I will be at the Masonic Temple in Johnstown for Western PA Cryptid and Supernatural conference, or expo as it's called. But next Saturday, April 26th, Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm just going to be like a vendor there taking reports. May 3rd, Ohio Big Conference. I'm just going to see everybody and rub elbows with some of the big shots, because I ain't no big shot.
Yes, you are.
May 10th, I got myself in a little jam for May 10th. I'm going to be, along with 4 of my friends, we're opening up a cryptid, paranormal, horror types brick and mortar store. It's called the Cryptid Collective at Celine, Central PA, Susquehanna Valley Mall. Will be grand opening May 10th. There's 5 of us. We got putting all kind of cryptid, paranormal, even some horror stuff in there. The 10th and 11th, we're going to have book signings. We're going to have Sasquatch Experience there doing a live podcast. The director, producer, and the star from the Snarly Yell will be there, making that movie at the Snarly Yell. We're making a big thing, and I'm really going, wow, we're doing this. So yeah, and then October, I got 2 events I'm doing in October, but the one I'm really proud of, I'm a return speaker for the Mercer County, Pennsylvania Historical Society. I'm the first speaker they asked to come back.
That is awesome.
I'm doing that October 25th. July 19th, I'm going to be in Ohio. I'll be there too. And so yeah, I'm really threw myself in the deep end with all these events. But I like going to them. I learn stuff every time I do go to them, not just going back and forth. Just to go to them and speak, whatever. And when I give my talks at these events, my presentations, I'm speaking from the heart. Okay. I'm not going to try to BS you. I'm going to tell you what I do know. If I don't know, I'll tell you. And one of my best talks that went over super great was the paranormal Bigfoot. Don't ask me why it went over good, because I told them I don't know if they are. Yeah, but no, seriously. It's just awesome. But then every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. You can find us on YouTube, or you can find us on the Agents of the Unexplained podcast page. We put them on both.
You said that was Wednesday?
Wednesday nights. And
I'm going to stalk you, Bill.
You're allowed. Ryan Tremblay stalks me too. He says Bill's #1 stalker. Thank you. And, like this coming Wednesday, I got Sydney Kreider. She wants to come on and talk about her experience. Then on the 30th, I got the one and only Shane Corson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of starstruck. I got Shane.
Well, it would be an honor. And I think you got an invite from Old Line Cryptids down there. From Jeff and from Old Line Cryptids there. I'm pretty sure he will hunt you down and find you, sir.
Yes.
And very laid back show. There's like 6 or 7 of us, and we're just like family. But Bill, even though we knew you before, you're now in our hub. So, and you will always have a seat at the Muddy Creek table, buddy. Your
I
family
appreciate
now.
that, and you're always welcome to come and sit at mine. Yeah.
We might crash you in chat one day, sir. We may crash you in chat. I know I'm going to be there on
I
Wednesday.
might throw you into it, bring you onto the show.
I don't mind. I'm there. I'm telling you, Misty and Greg just got me over that little phobia I had. So I'm good. I could be
And if
myself.
Misty shows up, I'm in trouble because she's gonna have me laughing my ass
Lord.
off.
Well, Misty just warmed things up from Hillary jumping in there, because then it's like it went from tropical storm to hurricane, because Misty's controlled chaos, and we love her. But
Yes.
there is no heart more pure than she has for the people around her. The Hillary is like,
I gotta admit,
it's trouble. Hillary's trouble.
the group you got in here is awesome. I appreciate them. I really do. Great questions and great people. You are welcome to subscribe to my YouTube. Come join in the conversations. You're all welcome. Yeah.
I know I did not mention this before, but I have a feeling that, when you go back through, if you get a chance to watch the show and read the comments, everyone there that they posted their podcast, and we do that for a reason, because we support each other. We bring each other up, not each other down.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Go like and subscribe, because I know they're going to go ahead and subscribe to you, but your family now. We do support each other.
Believe me, I'll be subscribed to every one of them. And
yeah,
let me say something right now, because there's a pet peeve of mine going on, and there's a group of people out there that think they're the best, that think they can control people. I'm not mentioning names. I saw the look. If you feel like they're doing that to you, talk to me. We will control that, because we'll put an end to it. Because you got to have open mind. You got to support each other. You can't control each other.
we do. I think if you noticed in the chat tonight, there was many with different opinions,
Yes.
but they embraced each other. No argument, no name calling. And you're part of that now. We look forward. We look forward to seeing you. I'm pretty sure. I know Online Cryptid's going to reach out, but I'm pretty sure there's so many people in here, woodwalkers. Everybody that's popped up, they're really great people. And like I said, the people in chat, they adopted me.
Yeah.
They adopted me.
They're great people. You can tell they are by their interaction, the way they even joke with each other, and they don't put each other down for their opinions. And they don't try to belittle someone. And I love that. I really do. And that's what it's all about. We got to work together, support each other. And I've been saying that for a long time now. But yeah, and I love that about this podcast here, the people in it. And thank you for having me, Miss V.
Well, at the end of each show now, Bill, I try to give someone a few moments to pay tribute to anyone they want to. Is there someone you would like to pay tribute to?
You.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You got one hell of a great show here. You're a good person, and you do recognize the people. I really, really appreciate you having me on here. When you asked, to me, that was a great honor to me, because I already had a lot of respect for you. And when I reached out to you about that other problem, and was talking to you, what I told you It was from the heart.
I appreciate
And
that.
I had your back 110%.
You know, I appreciate that. We all have to build our confidence up, and we all have to surround ourselves with good people.
Yes.
And like I said, it took confidence to ask you to come here. And thank you so much. I was honored that you said that, and you know, welcome to our family.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I really mean it. And I'm going to give out one big shout out to, I consider them family. That's Jamie and Jenny King. Jamie's been a mentor to me right along, especially when I first started researching. And when I had that big bipedal thing stalking me in the brush that I couldn't see, he's the first one I messaged and told what was going on. I needed help. And that was during COVID. He said, I can't leave. I might have been exposed to COVID. Where are you at? And I told him. And he says, well, you got to do this. You got to do it. That's where I had my experience. I went, great. That's when me and Jamie started.
That's awesome. Good friends are wonderful.
Yes. And they are the modern day hippies. That's all I can say, because they're about that their spirits are just total pure, and they're out in the woods all the time, and they treat everyone like they're gold, and we just love them. So I had to give a big shout out to them. And you need to get Jamie on your podcast, because he has Bigfoot experience. He does CSETI. You know what that is, right? CSETI. CSETI. Dr. Greer. But
you'll have to
connection.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? When you get a moment after you spend time with your family tomorrow, because I know get up with me on Facebook, give me those names. I'll reach out to them, see if I can't get them on. I do want to have you on for a Pennsylvania Roundtable.
You got no problem with that. I'll be there.
Well, thank you. I'm very grateful. You're good people. You're good people.
Thank you. And I'm going to go back and watch the end of wrestling.
Okay, you're awesome.
Hey, thank you all. I really enjoyed the chat. I enjoyed the show. And Dawn, I said goodbye.
I will. You're awesome. Bye, buddy.